Welcome back to the show. SEC sources are saying that the Ripple case is ending like soon. Somebody roll that beautiful intro. We got more.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.77 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 2.4, but I tell you, Bitcoin 82,300 plus, 1,800 plus for Ethereum. XRP number 4 spot 232. We're up 6.1 on the 24-hour, still off 10.6 on the 7-day like much the rest of the market. The range of price between 214 and 235. XRP is moving out here today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this. You could join us in the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Just click that join button and come on in. Get every one of my daily videos with 0 Google ads. That in itself is worth the price of admission. Not another Google ad shows up on your videos, plus extra content too, and all for the price of less than a cost of a cup of coffee. Come on in. Yeah. And this is XRP Las Vegas. You better get your ticket. XRPLasVegas.com, baby. There's 77 days and counting. Oh, my gracious. And we still have announcements to make. So, things are coming together quite nicely, ladies and gentlemen. Click that link right there. Get your ticket. Don't mess around. And get your airline ticket and book your room ticket right here. Get all of this because Bitcoin Vegas is now Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday right in front of us. So, you know, flights and rooms are going to get difficult. And I don't mind telling you, MGM just renovated the entire hotel. We just went there and did a walkthrough a couple weeks ago. It is gorgeous inside. No doubt about it. Get your ticket to XRP Las Vegas. You won't believe what it's going to show you, what you're going to learn at this conference. There's a cost, but you're making an investment into yourself. I can't stress it enough. Watch the first video. You'll find out why you need to be there. The SEC delays decision on multiple crypto ETFs, including VanEck Spot Solana ETF, Canary Spot Solana ETF, Canary Spot XRP ETF, Grayscale Spot XRP ETF, Canary Spot Litecoin, and Grayscale Spot Doge ETF. But stay with me here. Franklin Templeton just filed their 19B4 to the CBOE for their XRP ETF. They are pushing forward here. How much longer before BlackRock puts up their ETF? You know it's coming. Oh boy, have we got great news for you about this case. The Ripple case. Hold on, we'll get there. Ripple said on Thursday it had received approval from Dubai's Financial Services Authority to provide regulated crypto payments and services in the UAE. This is massive. Some would say this is what flipping the switch looks like. Well, let's hear from Reese Merrick, directly from Ripple.
Around the same time, the back end of November, the DFSA actually approved XRP as a digital asset that could be utilized by businesses within the DIFC regime. So, you know, that's a huge step for us in just firstly providing that clarity on XRP in the region. What I would say is VARA, obviously a standalone regulator in the region, are doing, you know, fantastic things as well. Ripple itself have been in the DIFC since 2020. We're very happy here. You know, we are quite keen from a license perspective to work with regulators to deem and acquire licenses where we require. So this is definitely something we're moving forward with. But I would say more to come on this space as it relates directly to the Middle East, Waleed.
There you go. More to come. Opening the door is what we're seeing here. Vincent Van Code says this to the news that Reese Merrick shares here in Ripple. Ripple's DFSA license in Dubai, DIFC, marks a game changer, positioning the company as a leader in regulated crypto payments across the UAE's $40 billion cross-border market. This could unlock massive potential for XRP, driving adoption and growth as blockchain transforms global finance. This is spot on right here from Vincent Van Code. Chad Steingraber reminds all of us that a bill to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and other programs to ensure transparent management of Bitcoin holdings for federal government to offset costs utilizing certain resources of the Federal Reserve System and for other purposes. And Cynthia Lummis, Senator Lummis, says she has support now that she didn't get in her own state. We're watching this closely. Look, I think this goes through. I don't know what shape or form it has to be for it to happen, but I think we're going to see something like this. We're already seeing it take place from the White House Crypto Summit. So we'll be watching this closely as we move forward. This is a thread from Austin King from Omni, who will be at XRP Las Vegas on stage. And he has been dropping threads that are absolutely straight fire. I'm going to move through this really quickly, but there's something in here that just catches me and it just hits so hard. He says, first it was Bitcoin, next it was Ethereum. What's the third generation that is going to reshape the entire crypto industry? He says, Intense. What most people don't know about this yet. So here are here are key things you need to understand before the wider market picks this up. This is really fantastic. Stay with me here because we're going to talk about this Ripple case here in just 1 second. When I studied computer science at Harvard, we not only learned how to program, we also studied the history of networks. If you compare the history of the internet to crypto today, it becomes clear we're extremely early. What comes next will be the biggest shift yet. A lot of people think the internet as a singular thing, but that's not the case. The internet is a number of systems layered on top of one another that are necessary to make using it easy. Each of these layers took time to create. What do these layers look like? This is what they look like. You see IP, TCP, right? HTTP, SMTP. This is for websites. This is for email, so on, so on, so on, right? So you can see all these different layers that make up this smooth, ubiquitous experience that we have on the Internet of Information today. That's what he's showing us. But when it comes to the Internet of Value, we've only built the first layers required for that true Internet of Value. And this is why using crypto is so difficult today. So what is this missing layer? He shows here we have Wi-Fi, Ethernet, Bluetooth, submarine cables, copper fiber optic cables, and then we're missing the protocol, the transport, and the application. And up here you see protocol, IP, TCP, UDP, and QIC, right? Application are all the website protocols and then the email protocols and so on, right? So now, with that being said, he goes on to talk about Intense. This is such a powerful idea, and it's going to completely reshape this industry. Companies worth billions today are going to fade into irrelevance because of this. Others will rapidly scale and become multi-billion-dollar empires. So what are intents? An intent comes from changing our perspective on how users will interact with the Internet of Value. Listen to this. Today, users tell blockchains how to do something. With intents, users will simply declare what to do. Here's a visual example. In other words, you'll be able to go in and say, get me the highest savings rate possible on my $1,000 USDC, but only use the top 10 safest lending systems. Bang, it sets out the transaction steps to get it all done. There's a beautiful concept here. Make finance serve you, not the other way around. You literally are going to be able to talk to the Internet of Value like AI and tell it what you want it to do and give it the parameters, and it will execute all of these intents that you give it. What? Listen, we're going to get further into this, but coming back to this diagram of the Internet of Information and the Internet of Value where it is, stay with me here. I want to remind everybody that Ripple back in the day made the ILP, the Interledger Protocol, the ILP, right? And gifted it to the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium, which oversees the Internet standards and principles on a global level. So if you trust the Internet, it is time that you start to trust the W3C, the XRP Ledger, and the ILP. Well, stay with me. Well, now I'm asking Austin for help. And by the way, Austin's going to be coming on the show next week, so watch out for that. This is going to be fire. This guy is so smart. I cannot wait to sit down with him and have a conversation. I said, now, Austin has been dropping threads that are straight fire. We could use his help to understand where we are today. Austin, based on your diagram that you shared here, how do we understand where the XRP ledger and ILP sit in the Internet of Value? You got to follow Austin for more. But I put these things to his diagram. I think the ILP certainly sits here where the IP would be, and the interledger protocol sits there. But would the XRP ledger sit here or here or here? That's the question we need to know to understand the true level of importance in the construct of the Internet of Value. Now let's just scroll down here. I haven't seen anybody. Let's see if we could. Maybe Austin did see this, and maybe he did answer. He hasn't yet. So we'll keep an eye on it. But this is where we're going with the Internet of Value. And as soon as we get the rest of these layers in place, things are going to start taking off like a rocket. Now, again, some would say it's like flipping a switch here, you know, when you're talking about getting these approvals around the world, like in Dubai recently here for Ripple and XRP. I say, you know, this is all looking like we're seeing the entire world starting to turn on and prepare for the US market infrastructure to be revealed for the new digital on-chain economy. This is a reminder right here of Paul Barron telling all of us just how deeply Ripple and XRP are tied into Japan and SBI. Take a listen.
Japan, you have to think about SBI. SBI is one of the biggest companies out there. And one of the reasons why is their commitment and has been behind Ripple. And they continue to grow. They currently hold 9% share based on their actual holdings of XRP. Their stockholders are saying, hey, don't sell the XRP, our stock will go down. We need to get more so the stock continues to rise. So a lot happening right there. And then if you look at their CEO, every bank in Japan will use Ripple's XRP by 2025. Now, I don't know if they're referencing end of 2025 or what was, but this was a big headline that they've been touting for quite some time. All right, so this FinTech Summit happened just the summit happened.
And there you have it. So we know this. Look, Dubai, Japan, Singapore, the UK, Bank of England, hello. Fed now, the US, I mean, Brazil, there's deep relationships. There really isn't a place that we don't have a presence in the world to plug in to the new digital on-chain economy. That's why I'm so curious about where we would sit when we talk about this diagram here for XRP Ledger in the Internet of Value. Now, with that being said, let's keep moving. Here it is. Sunshine Act today. Now, we know that they have these meetings on the regular. It happens today at 2 p.m. But here's what we need to know about this. And shout out to Chad for that reminder. Eleanor Terrett just shared this. Two well-placed sources tell me the SEC versus Ripple case is in the process of wrapping up and could be over soon. My understanding is that the delay in reaching an agreement is due to Ripple's legal team negotiating more favorable terms regarding the August district court ruling, which imposed a $125 million fine on the company and included a permanent injunction preventing the company from selling XRP to institutional investors. The argument, I'm told, is that if the new SEC leadership is wiping the enforcement slate clean for all previously targeted crypto firms because it believes regulatory clarity will resolve the underlying issue, why should Ripple still be penalized? Accepting the Torres ruling as it stands would mean that Ripple is essentially agreeing to admit to wrongdoing. But now the SEC itself is seemingly unsure whether any wrongdoing occurred. There's no real playbook for this kind of thing, which could explain why this case is taking longer to resolve than the rest. Stay tuned. You know, Meta Lawman floated this, and she's absolutely right. And shout out to Eleanor on her new gig, and shout out to her for celebrating Meta Lawman here. I have a theory about the SEC unexplained delay in dismissing the Ripple case. It might not be the SEC. He said it could be that Ripple is negotiating hard to get the SEC to agree to vacate some or all of Judge Torres's decision. The Torres decision is unquestionably great for XRP holders, but the finding of securities law violations in injunction, and attendant bad boy provisions are not so great for Ripple. This is particularly true if Ripple is considering a future exempt securities offering or IPO. I believe the SEC would have accepted a settlement where both sides dismiss their appeals and the SEC takes the $125 million penalty in a heartbeat. So it makes sense to me, at least, that Ripple could be negotiating for a better deal than that. It's all pure speculation on his part. He could be wrong, but wouldn't be the first time. And I don't think he is wrong. I think he's spot on. Shout out to James Murphy, Metal Lawman, who will be on stage at XRP Las Vegas. Jeremy Hogan chimes in with this one. Something in Eleanor's post caught my attention. Case is in the process of wrapping up and could be over soon. The only way the case could be over soon is if Ripple and the SEC reach a private settlement agreement, which would vary from the judgment, dismiss the appeal, and then simply never take the terms of the settlement agreement back to the trial court to be ratified. This is possible, but assuming the injunction is the sticking point, the SEC would have to agree to not enforce the court's injunction. I have a hard time believing the SEC would agree to that, but possibly it could agree to something more oblique, such as providing Ripple a path to actually register sales of XRP to institutional investors, for example, meaning Ripple could get what it needs while the SEC doesn't blatantly snub the court's order, meaning it can be done. This is the only way I can see the case resolving any time in the next couple of days or weeks, which would apparently be consistent with what she is reporting. Settlement agreement. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Wow. Whew. That is amazing. Now, here we have Egg Red Crypto breaking down a 7-step thread here, ladies and gentlemen, about XRP was shared in the subscribers section of his group, which you can join as well. Just hit that button and you're in. He said, we've built together the full Elliott wave count to assess the targets. I'm going to run through this as quick as I can here. From $24 to $110 as it mirrors the 2017 fractal. That's what we understand. Basically what he's saying on the charts, if we get these kind of repeat scenarios from the current trend and price where we are today, these steps can jump from $22 to $24, or we could see things go up again and then it retrace and pull back to $8 from that position. And then it could take off again to $32, $48 if we get a different push on the wave. Then if we move and see an even bigger push, the most aggressive, you could see between $60 and $70, but the price could climb as high as $100. The Elliott wave aligns with 2017 fractal, and that's what's caught his attention here. And I know I'm moving through this quickly, but I have asked Grok 3 who the most accurate technical analysts are in this XRP space, and they cited Egg Red Crypto and Dark Defender. That's what they had. They had a couple others, but those were the top two. I'm just telling you what Grok 3 said, so you go with that for what you will. I've always loved the way he's laid out and spelled out this information here. Remember, he also said there's a possibility within the month we could see a huge explosion for XRP price. And understanding that we could see legislation in April as fast as these committees are moving to send this all out to the floor for a vote, it could happen. So, you know, it's not saying that it will, right? But he's giving all of the potential breakdowns depending where we are and how much of an extension we hit on these jumps. And it will really depend on how hard these things move based on the news and how quickly it comes out in time with one another. That's how I look at this. Now, going through all of this, you can see that there's many different price points that have been shown that are possible. Targets from the $20 range, right? The $20, $22 range, 17 to 20, right? You know, you could see it pull back to $8. And this is all just looking at the fractal of what we've seen in history's past for XRP. So knowing that, following the fractal, the final fifth wave presents 3 price targets in this cycle. 32 to 48, 60 to 70, 95 to 110. Meanwhile, XRP currently trades at $2.30 some cents because it's moved a little bit in the last 24 hours. That's where we're at. Shout out to Egg Red Crypto. Not financial advice from him, me, or anyone else. Where will the price go if the case is over and it is a settlement agreement, as we heard projected by Jeremy Hogan? I don't know, but I tell you what, I think we're all about to find out. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.